People tell us every week that our information has helped save their life. If you agree that this is helpful information, please like, share, and most of all, subscribe, because nothing makes a channel like subscriptions.
Ricky the Wine. Good morning. Is there a special metabolic benefit in pushing for high-level heart rates during exercise? So the answer is a simple and emphatic yes. So one of the things that happens when we get old and as we start getting insulin resistant is that insulin resistance actually drives loss of our muscular microvasculature. What that means is the network of capillaries that provide oxygen and glucose and take wastes away from our muscle cells. Well, you lose those capillaries and then you start losing the ability for your blood to touch the insulin receptors. And you also tend to lose the ability for those muscles to bypass those receptors. We talked about it multiple times. Muscles are our safety valve. They bypass ailing insulin receptors. So you've got a terrible spiral going on as you age where you lose more capillaries. That results in decreased insulin sensitivity and it results in loss of the safety valve as well. That's exactly what high-level heart rates accomplish when you're doing HIIT training, high-intensity interval training. They go back and push back against that, creating need biologically for those muscles to rebuild those lost capillaries. Any comments?
I do have a friend of mine who is a sports medicine specialist, Dr. Paco. He usually follows the channel. And he does a stress test for a living. But I think he does that on the way that stress tests do work. He does that for athletes.
Endurance.
And that's their main goal. And I will say, if you're getting a stress test just to check your endurance and improve your performance on any sports course, that's a good way to go. And any stress test will let you know there is a limit on the amount of heart rate you need to achieve. And there is a maximal level depending on your age and gender. And she managed that and she talks about that all the time. But it's on the context of increasing endurance and performance because there is an impact of getting to those high rates on your muscles and your activity. And I think that's how stress tests can be done and might work on that context.
You know, you bring up a really good point, and I've thought about it multiple times. I just never got around to it. There's a really good use for a stress test. A stress test is a great test for athletic and performance and endurance. Here's where the disconnect happens. The assumption has been made. It's very important if we could predict a heart attack, right? Very important if we could. But we can't. So here goes the logic. Well, how about if we check for cardiovascular endurance? If cardiovascular endurance is really good, you're not likely to have a heart attack. Well, yes and no. I mean, there is a significant correlation, but then we get into all that we know about the Tim Russerts of the world. They're big runners and they're in good cardiovascular shape, but they have a boatload of cardiovascular inflammation going on. They pass their stress test with flying colors and die of a heart attack. So really good point. Thank you so much, both of you, for bringing that up.